So, we have the title update 1.0.5 live right now, and what has been added? Well, some secret changes, new gear, new quest, new parkour, and photo mode updates. So, let's dive into this, shall we? The very first thing that I saw when I logged into the game was the ally recruited, aka we got Katsuhime back, and also the broken cell is now whole.
Explain it to your stupid shell! I quit!
I honestly didn't expect that because that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes at all. Only thing that was mentioned was that the game incorrectly thought Katsuhime was dead during the quest. So I can now use Katsuhime as an ally. I'm so happy about that. But if you are still having problems with her, let me know in the comments down below. Also, huge thanks to Ubisoft for providing me with the early access to some of the footage and also giving me the Dead by Daylight pack for free, so I can show it to you guys. Let's see the items. Overall look, at least for now, I actually think this is the best looking set in the whole game. The perks are pretty okay or good. Definitely they are not bad. Unfortunately, this pack is helix pack, so you don't get this as a reward for completing the pretty short crossover quest between Assassin's Creed Shadows and Dead by Daylight. This pack is roughly around 20 bucks in the helix store, so quite salty price in my opinion, and as you know I have been criticizing the pricing of the microtransactions for quite a while now. Also, I don't think any of these pack items will be at weekly resets like ever, because the same thing happened with AC Valhalla and those crossover packs. They never appeared in Reda's selection, unfortunately. Of course, I do hope I'm wrong, because this is absolutely amazing looking. I definitely will be playing with this gear. Well, at least I'm gonna transmog this gear onto other gear when the new game plus comes. But honestly, perks, they are not that bad. I did play the whole update so far with this gear. Of course, I used some engravings to make it better, but like I said, I really hope I'm wrong and these will be appearing at some point in the Animus Reset exchange selection. So fingers crossed. Plus, I'm really keen to hear your opinions, thoughts about this update, this pack, whether it being Naue's gear or Yasuke's gear. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, are you thinking the same I'm thinking? That Assassin's Creed Hexe might be something similar with its vibes to this crossover. I mean, I definitely had more intense time playing this update, well, at least the crossover quest that we are gonna see a little bit later on in this video. And yes, everything will be timestamped, so you can skip around and avoid any spoilers. And only spoiler that I'm gonna add, it is gonna be the whole crossover quest. And at this point, you can get the idea from the background of Yasuke's gear, see the perks, that is the only thing that matters in my opinion. And also, what else was fixed in this update, as promised, it actually took me a couple restarts of the game, but finally, that pesky notification for new gear in inventory is fixed. That is only one thing that was fixed in this update. We also did get fixed, improved parkour, photo mode, and also I think there are some secret changes, but more about those later on in this video. But now let's go over the photo mode update. One of the most annoying things before this update with the photo mode was the preview, in my opinion, where the grid was visible when you moved around, unless we used a workaround for that one. So thankfully that is now back to normal, so the grid will not be visible when using the preview in the photo mode. So that is huge plus in my opinion. But what is absolutely the best thing in my opinion is that I was wrong when I kinda predicted or feared that there will be only few facial expressions, poses. Thankfully there are many. Of course, I would love to see more in the future updates, but for now there are plenty of those for both characters. I'm only gonna show Naue's facial expressions and poses in this video, so just go around and play with the photo mode settings in your game if you want to see Yasuke's poses and expressions. The facial expressions for Yasuke are pretty much the same as they are for Naue, but the poses, there are some differences, so play around and find out how many. Also, what I really like is that you can toggle on and off the headgear and note with the Dead by Daylight pack headpiece. Yeah, some of you may think it is mask, but no, only the hair and the triangle scarf thingy on Naue's forehead is basically part of the headset. So, dead eyes, cuts and blood, they will appear in the cutscenes, if you were wondering about that. Also, I really like, and which is a huge plus in my opinion, that we can change time of day in photo mode, and no, it doesn't affect the real world, so there is no workaround for that one, for most of us at least. Of course, PC gamers can mod stuff, but us console players are not so lucky, so hopefully that will change in the future updates. This wasn't the only thing added into the photo mode in this update. We got new frames. Unfortunately, I didn't spot any new stickers. And also note on the stickers, you can only customize, aka change the color of the stuff that have the base color of white. So now Yasuke stickers, you can't change the color of those round stickers, but everything else can be modded. So these ones you can't, but for example the logo, text, shadows, Japanese letters you can modify. So what you think? Do you care at all about the photo mode, or are you using it just for the fun? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's enough about the photo mode. Let's move on to the, in my opinion, second biggest highlight of this update, just right after the Dead by Daylight collaboration. And one thing I noticed immediately after downloading this update is the fact Yasuke seems to be much, and I really mean much better at parkouring. So, anybody looking at you, Robotopoulos, can you confirm this one? Or am I going crazy? Because to me it seems like Yasuke has improved tremendously. Even though I really do suck at parkouring, at least in the modern games, I honestly think there's a huge difference from the time I was previewing the game, trying to parkour as Yasuke in there, and parkouring with Yasuke now. So, in my opinion, it is much smoother, it is almost at Eivor level parkour at the moment. Of course, some differences, but where we can immediately spot the difference in parkouring will be Naue, and yeah, it is much smoother and I enjoy the game much more. Also, Ubisoft has told us they added new parkour routes, and yeah, I really think they have been making little changes here and there to make parkouring more pleasant in the game. Even though the feudal Japan, it is not the best setting for parkouring. Comparing that to the old games, definitely this is not there, but I do appreciate the improvements. And in the new games, I appreciate that we don't have those parkour catching random guards in the tombs and other locations. where suddenly every single guard in full armor were somehow faster than Ezio, for example. I am not completely sure, but I think on extreme difficulty settings, the combat, it feels slightly harder. And by harder, I mean the enemies are hitting harder. They are still going down pretty fast, but in my opinion, their damage output seems and feels like it is increased. While I was engaging in combat activities, I did encounter a few Ronins, and what Ubisoft told about nerfing the economy system in-game, it is true, we are getting so much less Mon from Ronins, unfortunately. Lowest I got was a little bit over 70 Mon, and the highest Mon amount I have seen from Ronins hasn't been even 300 Mon at the moment. To be fair, I have only defeated less than 10 so far. The crossover quest between AC Shadows and Dead by Daylight is almost at hand, but before that we are gonna check if Katsuhime is really usable this time. Use the timestamps in order to skip over the quest and see you in the final parts of the video, where I share more. And thank God we can actually use Katsuhime as our ally once again. So now to the quest. You need to unlock Yasuke, and this quest starts at the stables in your hideout, where Tomiko is the quest giver for this one.
What is it, Tomiko?
One of our people. There has been no sign of them for days.
Is this unusual? Where were they when you last heard from them?
Akashi. And you are right. It would not be concerning, if not for their last message.
Go on.
They spoke of missing villagers. A strange presence. I fear our agent may have fallen victim to the same fate.
I will go there and see what I can find.
Be careful. Something feels very wrong about this.
Where is everyone?
In this location, you can go straight to the tree, dig up and start the quest, or you can find all three other things and get a small dialogue option that way. And note, doing this as fast as possible, this can take up to 10 minutes or less. And of course, I highly recommend of doing the first part as Naue, and the second part if you are playing as intended, as Yasuke. But, well, you will see how I did it.
The story of a killer taken harshly by death and put to an even darker purpose. The Oni. A diary might have noted some recent occurrences. A strange statue caught in a fisherman's net. The villager called it evil, blamed it for the disappearances. Fitting. The ground here has been recently turned. Look at this thing. No wonder they tried to bury it. What is this? What is happening?
Like I said, I highly recommend using Naue in the first part of this quest, because there is some climbing, also sneaking around is a huge plus, and of course because of this, the weapons, they are not doing anything at all.
My weapons do nothing!
This place. Where am I? The villagers. Something murdered them as they were trying to escape. I must find a way to unlock this gate. This totem removed the seal from the gate. Another seal gone. Stay low. Stay hidden. One left.
done. Now to leave this place. A way out. I think I made it. I am back! It is... I do not truly know what I have just seen, but I must tell Tomiko. Tell her something of what happened here.
I'm glad to see you return, Naoe. What news of Akashi?
Nothing of what I saw was good. Some menace had already killed everyone in the village by the time I got there. Most likely our scout too.
Oh, that's... everyone? How can that be? Who did this?
All I can tell is I was attacked by what looked like an Oni.
An Oni?
It looked like an Oni. I do not know what it was.
An Oni. Of course, people tell tales of such demons, but to defeat one is a great victory.
I survived it. I cannot say any more than that.
It is in the nature of such Oni to forever menace us mortals. Survival is a gift.
There is a chance it may return?
Who can know the mind of an Oni?
Well, whatever may come, we will be ready.
There we go. That was the whole quest. It was short but sweet in my opinion. How did you like it? Rate it in the comments down below from scale 1 to 10, 1 being bad and 10 being perfect. I would give it solid 9 actually, and I am surprised to say that. Also, did you notice the headgear on Naoe did stay on in the cutscene? So, that was definitely a little taster from what is coming in the future updates. Unfortunately, that fun didn't last long. It was just a teaser for this collaboration, but hopefully we will see more.
Thank you.
Do you remember the Yamabushes?
No
Well,
trouble
the
at all.
meditating one,
I don't need
I killed
anything in
him.
return.
It wasn't possible before the update, but now you can. Of course, just like in every update, there are some things that hasn't changed a bit. Junjiro and Yagoro, for me, they are still repeating the same lines over and over and over and over again. Hopefully that will be fixed in the near future, but for now it is time to see the Oni armor on Yasuke in action. The bleed effect is definitely the highlight of the Oni gear. Oh, before I forget, besides the Katsuhime being back as our ally, we can also find those codex entries around the world, even though personally I did collect those, but now I can collect them again. So there you go, few secret changes that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes. If you have found anything like that, please let us know in the comments down below, and while you are at it, remember to hit the like.
see them, I will give you a swift end. Get reinforcements!
For the last thing in this video, we also have the winning hand, aka the Balatro trinket, and if you want to check that trinket and how to get it, I will have a link in the end screen, so you can easily access that video after this one. But for now, I'm so grateful that you watched this video, so thumbs up, subscribe for more, turn on the notifications, and of course, if you are feeling extra fancy, we have memberships available for the channel in different tiers, so choose the one you like depending on the perks. And of course remember, I'm streaming the weekly reset for AC Shadows every Thursday if I just can. So see you there. Skatha over and out, and bye bye.